We will be boarding Flight 6422 to Athens shortly. I'm hungry. Maybe I should grab a burger before the flight. No, I'm about to get a first-class meal. I should wait. Can't wait to get out of here and get to Greece. It's going to be so beautiful. I hear the seafood is great there. I really hope they have good chowder. Passenger Norris, Charles Norris, please come see us at the ticket counter. Good afternoon. Is everyone feeling well rested and ready to go? Great. Well, we've just received our paperwork from dispatch with all of our flight information. I've just been reviewing it to make sure everything is in order so we can have a well-executed flight today. We'll be traveling from Boston, Beantown, KBOS, to Athens, LGAV. It'll be about 4,250 nautical miles, and projecting about 9 hours and 30 minutes flight time today. In terms of weather, there is the snow here in Boston today, but shouldn't present any barriers for our flight. We should be able to get out of the airport with no trouble. We'll just want to be aware of any icing conditions, of course. En route, there's no significant weather to concern us. Some rain showers over northern Europe, but will be outside of our flight plan for today. Our alternate in Greece is Thessaloniki, LGTS, if there should be any issues at the Athens airport. Check the NOTAMs, and nothing that should concern us for our operation today. A few lighting changes at the airport, but nothing major. Do please check that yourselves to verify that we have all the latest information. En route, for our ETOPS alternates, if we should have to divert while we're over the Atlantic. Initially, that would be St. John's in Newfoundland, and then Shannon in Ireland. And weather should be perfectly acceptable at both of those destinations throughout our trip time. Checked for any company procedures that we need to be concerned about that might have changed, and there are no unexpected updates there, and nothing with our aircraft operations as well. We'll be flying the Airbus A310, as you know. In terms of loadout, pretty light load of passengers today, just 152 expected on board, so hopefully that'll make life easy for the cabin crew. About 12,000 pounds of cargo, and fuel on board will be 110,000 pounds. Should be plenty for taxiing, any trip to an alternate, and a reserve of fuel. Expecting about 14,000 pounds remaining upon landing. Other than that, everything looks good. One note, of course, Monotonic Air spends all of its money on its passengers, so we have the crappy hotel again in Athens. But that's alright, it'll still be a wonderful place to visit for a day or so. Okay, well, everyone, please do check the paperwork as needed, but otherwise, let's hop on the bus to the terminal and get out to the aircraft. Paging passenger Seagal, Steve Seagal, please come see us at the ticket counter. Alright, I have a cold and dark cockpit. Let's go ahead and get this thing fired up. Those batteries on. And we have external power available, so let's use it as we prepare to get things moving here. Alright, let's take a quick look. Nothing is on that shouldn't be on. All good. Okay. So let's go ahead and get some fuel moving for the APU. Set that to on. Alright, and then let's go ahead and start APU. Up on our control panel here. Look for acceleration light. There we're seeing the APU spin up. And there the power is available. So let's go ahead and turn on the APU gen. Perfect. That will give us power here on the ground. Alright. Let's go ahead and get our IRS units turned on here. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, let's switch into align mode. That low power supply. Alright, let's go ahead and get flight management computer initialized. And we'll be traveling from Boston to Athens. That message, you can see what we're doing. Alright, and our alternate is Thessaloniki. Put that in. Alright. And identifier today. Okay, we'll go ahead and align the IROS with that data. Take a few minutes for that to get all lined up. Alright, let's get that no smoking switch on. And the fasten seatbelt light. So we have folks loading on board the aircraft. Alright. Alright folks, we're ready to begin boarding for our flight to Athens, here today on Monotonic Airlines. We'll start with our first class passengers. We're just going to have a peek at our hydraulic system here. Everything is in the green. We expect to see illuminated low pressure lights in amber. Same with servo controls, expecting to see that low pressure. And turn on the ground control mode for our flight recorder. Logo set to position 1. Rollers off for now, so we get things started up. And we're still in align mode on the ILS. Give a minute before we can turn on our trims. Alright, so let's have a look at our loadout. Have our initial information. We're expecting fairly light load. 152 passengers. Right around 12,000 pounds of cargo. And then for fuel, a long trip, right around 110,000 with our contingency fuel. Okay. And we'll double check the weight numbers once we get final paperwork. Right. We are expecting to use runway 4 right here in Boston. Enter that heading. It is a nice long runway, 10,185 feet. And based on our current weights, let's grab our total gross weight, 325.5. Alright, let's calculate our reference speeds. It's a good indication. We'll revisit that as we get set up with final weight and balance numbers. Looks like our IRS has lined up. So let's go ahead and get the throttle system, yaw damper, and pitch trim all turned on. Make sure everything is safety-duty on the overhead panel that needs to be. Looks good. Right. Let's go ahead and have a look at our fuel panel. Fueling should be complete. What I'm gonna do, let's go ahead and switch on all of our tank pumps at this point. The system take care of that. Alright, we see all of those flow pumps operating as expected. Double checking expected fuel, confirming of what we've planned for. Perfect. Right. And let's have a peek here on the overhead. Now system 1 is illuminated green for our pressurization system. We'll look to make sure our pressure indications are as expected and confirm. And our rate limit is set to norm. And valve indicators are open. Go ahead and turn on our window heat and probe heat. The icy weather today is critical. Alright. Last glance. Flow here, and everything is looking good. Alright. And more check. Flow bar is illuminated in the vent. Alright, let's go ahead and arm the emergency exit lights. And go ahead and turn on the APU air bleed. Make sure we have it available for engine start. We'll select Econ Flow, environmental control unit. Pack valve bars are illuminated. Else is set as we need. Should be good to go there. Oxygen panel is safety. Lights are off. And we have appropriate quantities. Okay. Welcome, folks, aboard Monotonic Airlines, Flight 6422. Non-stop service to Athens, Greece. I want to welcome you all aboard and thank you for choosing Monotonic Airlines. Although we amazingly don't have a very full flight today, please do get your baggage stowed and take those seats and get those seat belts fastened so we can have a nice timely departure and escape this snowy weather for sunny Greece. Alright, we'll be talking to you all shortly after the cabin makes his announcement. Have a wonderful flight, and thanks again for choosing Monotonic Airlines. Check our AFIS panel. PFD and ND are as we like them. We're in nav mode, we're seeing our flight director. And FT1 is illuminated white. This time I'm going to go ahead and set decision altitude -5. Confirm that we're set to norm on our autopilot bank limit. Set our landing field elevation. We're about 300 feet in Athens. Hello. Welcome aboard. How are you doing? Good, good. Very well, thank you. Well, we really appreciate you flying with us all the time, and we were happy to be able to upgrade you today to business class. Well, it's a funny story, actually. The gentleman who was supposed to be sitting in your seat was actually an arms dealer, and he got arrested literally in public in Faneuil Hall. They picked him up for littering, discovered who he was, and Now there'll be some sort of complicated extradition proceedings, but the upside is that seat was available, so we could upgrade you. Well, I hope you have a wonderful flight. I'll be here to help you with anything you need throughout our trip. And to start, before we take off, can I get you a beverage? Just some water, okay? And would you prefer still or sparkling water? Sparkling, perfect. Let me grab that for you really quickly. Okay, I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, let's go ahead and get our flight plan programmed in here. Cost index. Able to load our company route here once it's reprogrammed. Alright, let's have a look. Yeah, from Boston. Okay, good. Alright, confirmed along with that it did get our average expected environmental condition, the winds in flight. Alright, let's set up our departure. We're expecting full right, the Celtic departure. Go ahead and insert that into our flight plan. Gotta love our boys in green. Alright, and we are expecting to land runway 3 right, Aston 2C. Approach. Oh, those are all into our flight plan now. Alright, let's switch over to the plan mode. And we'll just walk our way through. Sure, route is as expected. Okay, that's what we wanted to see. Very good. Okay, I have the water for you. Let me just set that there, and I can get this opened up. Okay. Okay, enjoy. I'll see you again soon once we start our service. Enjoy your flight. Alright, and then let's go ahead and load performance data. We've received our final balance sheets. Weights are as expected. So for V1 we have 160 and for rotation we have 165. V1 rotate. Good. And V2 is 169. So we'll enter that here on the flight control unit. Fairly heavy today with the long distance flight that we're making. Okay, entered and confirmed here. Perfect. And our block fuel 7. Let's grab our 0 fuel weight, which was 215.5. Alright, gross weight, 325,000 pounds. That is as expected. That looks good. Let's go ahead and get our center of gravity enter 24.0. Sure, our flight computer is all set. Okay. From the flight deck, I want to wish you a good afternoon and welcome aboard. I'm Captain Darrell. With me is First Officer Darrell, as well as First Officer Heather to help take you all over to Athens. Our flight time today is calculated to be about 9 hours and 30 minutes. We have some snowy weather here in Boston, but once we get up to altitude, we're expecting a very nice flight. And I'll tell you what you want to hear, which is the weather in Athens is absolutely perfect. 75 degrees and sunny. We'll be pushing back shortly. In the meantime, I ask you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the wonderful hospitality here on Monotonic Air. Okay. Everything is looking good. And expecting an initial altitude clearance of 6,000. Alright, let's just have a look. Sure, nothing is unexpected as we get ready to push back. Let's just reconfirm our fuel. Look at the hydraulics as well. Okay. For our landing destination airport, we've entered our flight management data set for takeoff. We have our flight plan enter, our final weights. Cross-check on the altimeters. Everything is looking good. Alright. Anti-skid is on. We are ready for pushback. We have our taxi clearance. Taxi via Alpha and Bravo to runway 4 right. That routing we won't be crossing any runways. Monitor for traffic. Once we are cleared to enter the runway, we'll line up for takeoff and meet clearance. For our takeoff procedure, we'll be expecting an initial left turn, initially cleared to 6,000 feet. Potentially expect additional instructions from ATC. I will be the pilot flying today. Will be pilot monitoring. I'll have the controls, be monitoring instruments, as well as handling communications. In the event of any issues, I will fly the plane and you will move to proceed on the emergency checklist. Understood? Perfect. Alright, let's get our pushback and we'll be on our way. Okay, we are ready for our engine start. Here it is clear. start engine 2. We're looking for 20% N2. We'll introduce fuel. Monitoring our exhaust gas temperature. And seeing engine will start to spool out. Okay. Then start engine 1. Again, looking for 20%. Then 2. Here. Okay. Okay, we have 2 good starts. Turn off the APU bleed air. And switch off the APU as well. The conditions we're in today, I'm going to make sure we have all of our anti-ice measures turned on. Can arm the speed brake. Set our rudder trim. Let's go ahead and set flaps for takeoff. And verify. Need 1.5 trim up. Let's just get that set here. Trim up is set. Alright, let's go ahead. Get our nose light set to taxi. Controls. Test. Okay. Controls have free movement. Confirm all of our settings here. Let's go ahead and set this for our runway heading at this point. set. Right. And we have our taxi clearance, making a left turn to get onto Alpha, then a right turn. Vehicles clearing out of the way there. Turn right onto the taxiway here. Follow this around to the right. Double checking we don't have an aircraft on approach as we get to the end of this taxiway, as we will cross the end of our left. Potentially concerned about any traffic making their final approach onto that runway. We are clear. Continue to monitor that as we make this turn. Just again, double check here before we proceed. Short here. Confirm again. Okay, cleared. And we hold short for runway 4 right. Alright, so we are going to hold short, waiting clearance. Another look at our calculations here to make sure that we included full anti-ice. And 169, 160, 165. That did not actually change our calculations, so we are good with our existing speeds. Alright, configuration is set for takeoff. The FMS is armed. Everything is ready to go. Confirming our flaps readings. And we are going to use continuous ignition since we are experiencing potential weather conditions with the system. Alright, we are clear to clear for takeoff. Cross-checked. Takeoff. Engines stabilizing. Go mode. Knots. IV1. Rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Feet. Autopilot on. Slat speed. Up in the neutral position. Right. TC has asked us to a heading 90 degrees. Cleared up to 10,000 feet. To heading 110 and cleared to official cruise altitude. We are cleared to resume our course. Transition altitude, we set our altimeters, and we can go ahead and switch off those landing lights. We are on our way. At this point we can switch off that ignition. Picking the turn to pick up our course soon. As we head up towards Celtic. So let's just double check. We are climb thrust, auto configuration. On our way up, we're altitude 31,000 feet. We are on course. And everything is as expected. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just about to begin our dinner service. While we're handing out those wonderful meals, please do try to keep the aisles clear to make things easy for our flight attendants. Thank you very much. Welcome. Thanks for coming in to see us. How are you? I'm good. Thank you for asking. So I want to do the upper limb. Alright, we'll be looking to level off that 31,000 feet. We're starting to capture. Okay, let me provide you the menu for our service tonight. The first course includes both a soup and salad. There is a choice from one of 3 entrees, and then there will be a dessert along with a cheese plate. You can choose from the beef, chicken, or lobster. And may I prepare a beverage for you while you look at the menu. Scotch and soda? Okay. And do you have a preference on your scotch? The Glenfiddich? Okay. Let me get that for you. Here you are. Enjoy. And did you have a choice for entree? You'll have the chicken. Wonderful. That's very good. Okay, I'll be back with food shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, we've reached our initial cruising altitude of 31,000 feet. I have turned off the seatbelt sign. It's safe to move about the cabin. We're expecting a smooth ride, but we do ask that you keep those seatbelts fastened when you're in the seats, in case of any unexpected turbulence, and especially overnight, so the flight attendants don't have to wake you. We'll leave you to kick back and relax. We'll check in before landing with updated times. Enjoy your service here on Monotonic Air, and we'll talk to you later. Alright, let's get your table set up for the meal. And would you care for some champagne with your meal? Wonderful. We have Moet, delicious champagne. please enjoy. And I will be back very shortly with your soup. Perfect. Enjoy. Okay, enjoying your champagne? Yes. Well, I have our wonderful beef consomme, very delicate. Please enjoy. And how was it? Wonderful. May I take your bowl? Okay. And in return, I will offer you this wonderful green salad. Please enjoy. Pardon? Are you finished with the salad? Okay, I will take that from you then. Oh, good. I'm very glad to hear that. Well, now, the main course, the chicken breast with mashed potato, broccolini, and shallot reduction. It's absolutely delicious. I hope you enjoy. And can I get you anything else in the meantime? Okay, well then, bon appetit. Absolutely stunning. Look at that. Hello again. Did you enjoy the chicken? Perfect. Yeah, I definitely agree. Well, wonderful. Would you like me to take your plate then? Okay, perfect. Alright. Go ahead and take that silverware as well. And I will be back momentarily to get you set up with our lovely dessert, okay? Perfect. All right, I am back again. Let me give you a fork for your dessert. Yeah, it's hard to argue with dessert, right? And we actually have 2 courses this evening. I have this raspberry tart with fresh raspberries. And then to accompany it, a cheese plate. I have a soft ripened cow's milk cheese, mimolette, an Irish cheddar, a pepper inflect cheddar, Gouda, and a nice Stilton. Let me give that to you. Enjoy. Okay. What did you think? Yes, very good. You can take that out of your way. And let me grab that as well. Okay. Well, that completes our meal service for the evening. Perhaps I can interest you in one last beverage, or have a wonderful herbal tea. It's a special blend. It's quite delicious, I assure you. No caffeine. It is really the perfect thing to help you drift off to sleep here for the overnight portion of the flight. It sounds good to you? Well, let me pour that for you then. Some nice, warm herbal tea to help you sleep. Okay, well, enjoy. What I want you to do is just put out your finger to touch mine, and then bring your finger back to your nose and touch my finger. I'll have you do that, and I'll move my finger, and you just track the movement and touch your finger to mine. Okay? So go ahead and touch my finger and back to your nose. Touch my finger, back to your nose. Touch my finger, back to your nose. Okay? And go ahead and do that as quickly as you can. Touch my finger. And yeah, just as quickly as you can. And keep going. Okay. St. John's. Etops. Alternate. It's off to our port side up ahead there. weather conditions are good, so viable if we should need to divert. Otherwise, everything is looking good. Hey, yeah, I'm just making sure folks have their seatbelt on as we head into the overnight portion of the flight. Yeah, our pilot, he seems to get bored about halfway through and really start flinging things around and going crazy. No, I'm kidding, of course. He's really quite boring. Quite intensely boring. Could be nice if he was a little more wild, honestly. Sometimes when he's making cabin announcements, he literally puts the flight crew to sleep. Yeah. Well, yeah, so just keep that seatbelt fastened if you're sleeping, so we don't have to bother you in case of any unexpected rough air. Though it looks like it's going to be pretty smooth sailing for this flight. Yeah, as always, hit the call button if you need anything at all. That's what we're here for. And otherwise, I hope you can get some good shut-eye. Yeah. Good night. Alright, so it's time to climb up to flight level 330. Do a profile climb up to our new altitude. Alright, about 1,000 feet. See leveling off, flight level 330, and we shifted back to cruise thrust. Look at that. The first rays of the rising sun. I like flying eastbound, seeing sunrise over the Atlantic. The night passed so quickly. is extraordinary, the view you get from up here. I never get tired of it. Everything looks normal. Man, what a view. Right. Passing off the southwest tip of Ireland. Some cloud cover. England is getting hit by a bit of rain this morning. Soon we'll be setting up our climb, or final cruising altitude, flight level 350. Ahead and get that flight level enter. Computer. Ready to make that contact. Climb thrust. See we're gaining altitude. Within 1,000 feet. Go for capture. Cruise thrust and leveling out at our altitude 35,000 feet. Good morning. A little bit black forest. Just about to cross into Switzerland. Just got a fresh cup of coffee. But say that coffee on Monotonic Air is not very good. No expense spared, passenger luxury, other than the coffee. It's a shame. Still, I do enjoy a good cup of coffee. 35,000 feet. Watching the early dawn. Sneak its way above the horizon. Everything's looking good from the system's perspective. Can you hear me? Awesome. Awesome. Hey, thanks for taking the call. Yeah, normally bring you in, give you the whole tour, introduce you to people. You know, things are, they are right now, so we gotta make do. Good morning, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful night of sleep. We're just about to start with our breakfast service, and then we should be landing in Athens before too long. So once again, thank you for flying Monotonic Airlines, and do let us know if there's anything we can do to help make your experience better on board this flight.
Mystery. Good luck. Godspeed. The Cave of Whispers. It is said each person who visits leaves a little bit of themselves behind, and that is what you hear. The sphere must be in this next chamber. Let us see now.
Good morning. How are you? Good. Did you manage any sleep? Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. Well, it should be an absolutely beautiful day in Greece. So there's that to look forward to. Well, to help you get refreshed, got some coffee for you if you'd like. Okay. And we'll have breakfast for you, which is a mushroom omelet and a plate of fruit. That all sound good? Okay, great. Let's get this ready for your table here. A napkin. Some silverware. Okay, and you did want that cup of coffee, right? I suspected you might. They've been making some cuts on the airline, but when it comes to coffee, that won't do. I actually refuse to serve the coffee that we're supposed to. So I smuggled some special stuff on board. It is pure Kona coffee that I picked up the last time we went to Hawaii. So you have an absolutely wonderful brew, nice and bright. Can get that for you. Cream or sugar with that? Just cream? Okay. And a spoon for you. And can I get you any other beverage to go along with that? Some orange juice? Absolutely. Glass of orange juice for you. And then have the mushroom omelet. And plate of fruit. Okay. Anything else that you need at the moment? Wonderful. Well, dig in, and I hope you enjoy your breakfast. So glorious to see the sunrise from up here. Passing over Dubrovnik. Just gorgeous. An hour and 15 minutes or so looks like our current prediction. See how that plays out as we get closer. Fuel status. Predictions look as expected. The sun peeking above the horizon. Oh, absolutely amazing. Look at that. Stunning. All right. Did you enjoy the omelet? Yeah, I think they're quite good. Can I get that stuff out of the way for you? Okay. Really quite the sight. Great way to kick off the morning. We're just about to start our descent, so making sure everything is in order here. crossed over into Greek airspace. Current weather in Athens, still very mild, and has us using runway 3 right as planned. Alright, we have one last treat before we land. I have a nice hot towel, if you would like one to help get refreshed. Perfect, there you go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. We'll shortly begin our descent into Athens. This time I'm going to turn on the seatbelt sign. Please do return to your seats and keep your seatbelts fastened for the remainder of the flight. We'll be on approach. Thanks again for flying Monotonic Airlines. Alright, and we have been cleared to a normal to air traffic control. We'll start our initial descent. Good weather in Athens, very light winds out of the northeast. As we approach, we're going to swing out to the west, out over Sparta, and then turn back to the east, and head inbound and pick up the localizer for the ILS approach. Event of a missed approach, we'll call out clear the procedure and be making a right turn. Look for ATC factors at that point as well. We'll be flying on the controls, we'll be the pilot monitor, and continue to take care of any communications. One thing we will be aware of on this approach is there is terrain here with these mountains in the vicinity. I want to mind our restrictions to stay above the altitudes as we make this leg out to the west. We're showing around plenty of fuel on board, no concerns there. Making a full flaps landing with the low setting on our auto brakes. It's a nice long runway to work with. You know, I had a very distant relative ages back. Sail in these waters, time ancient Greeks. I made sure the links are hard to trace that far back. Supposedly her name was Cassiopeia or Cassandra, something like that. That's pretty cool. I don't know. say if it's really true or not. Maybe it's just a myth. Transition altitude here will be 9,000 feet. Here at 9,000 feet. Stay. As we do altitude restrictions. Switching over to profile. There's restrictions. Alright, we've passed over DDM, and ATC has instructed us to descend to 4,000 feet. Have all of our lights on for good visibility. Let's confirm. That our ILS and course are set up for runway 3 right. Looking good. We have a decision height set and landing field elevation is set. Just make out the airfield up there. Bring the ILS up on the flight director. So we're ready for that. So descending down to 4,000 and 1,000 feet, so we'll look for capture here. Let's go ahead and switch back to profiles. We're here on the approach. And we have received our approach clearance, so engaging land mode. And I see glide slope and localizer queued up on the flight director, so we'll be looking to intercept. Should be picking up the localizer here. See it becoming active. localizer. So we're getting our slats out. Top below, gear, and there we acquired the glide slope. Alright, 3 greens on the gear. Going for our next notch of slats. Tracking localizer and glide slope. Flaps 30. Gear down, flaps out, lights are on, looking good for landing. We'll bring in full flaps now. Stabilized approach. Alright, we are landing. See land indication on the flight director.
300. 200.
Flare.
30, 20, 10, 5.
And reverse thrust. Out of reverse. Pass 80 knots. Turn off the runway here. Clear the active. We are on the ground here in Athens. All right, welcome to Athens. Thanks for choosing Monotonic Airlines. I hope you'll consider us in the future for any travel needs. And we've enjoyed having you on board today, and enjoy your time in Athens. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thanks for flying with us. Thanks for flying with us. Have a wonderful visit.